Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So Lord Ṛṣabhadeva, who is plenary portions of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has taught the topmost science of Krishna consciousness to all the children. Now Ṛṣabhadeva adopted that how a saintly person should be free from all the worldly conscience, who is beyond varna and ashrama, who is able to tolerate anything and everything that comes from the material world. Specifically, this material world, the two most important sloka in Bhagavad Gita. One is 2.14. Matra sparsastu kaunteya Sitoshna sukha dukkadaha agama paino nityastam titikhashva bharata. So this point is that the appearance of so-called material happiness and distress, they are not a reality. They are non-permanent in nature. Anything is not permanent, is not real. So neither such happiness that we are getting from this material world are permanent, nor the distresses. They comes in due courses. Just like winter sometimes and sometimes summer comes. The season changes like a cycle. So due to our sense perception, we get sometimes happiness and sometimes distress from the material subjects. And all these material subjects, happiness and distresses, are interpreted by our consciousness, Chetana. So Chetana, when affected by this duality, Sita, Ushna, Sukha or Dukkha are called duality. It is coming out of our guna and karma, which is acquired in our consciousness. If we want to tolerate them, if we want to go beyond that, want to stop this cycle of getting repeated Sita, Ushna, Sukha and Dukkha, then Lord Krishna advises to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita 2.14 that you must tolerate them. Titiksha. So titiksha, the word titiksha means tolerate. Who is able to tolerate this, he can surpass. So titiksha is the guna. If a person who is in dharma, dharma means the religious merits of a person. So dharma is not particular about that what one person do as per specific rituals or sections or society. It is all about what a person possesses in himself to define himself as a person. Dharati iti dharma. So what is that a person must possess is called dharma. So dharma must possess Shraddha. Shraddha means the divine faith in the principles of cultivating spiritual life. Maitri. Maitri means friendliness to other living entity, not only human being, but also to all living entities. You can see how our Guru Maharaj was friendly to every living entity. He is the embodiment of this divine quality, Maitri. Daya, compassion, Santi, peacefulness, Tushti means contentment. Whatever one gets from this material life, one must be content with that. Pushti. Pushti means feel nourished or feel satisfied with whatever you get. Kriya. Act without personal intentions of sense enjoyment. Bhoga vritti tyaga. In karma is called kriya. So giving up these intentions of sense enjoyment, one can surrender or one can work for the intentions of Supreme Personality of Godhead. ईश्वर इच्छाए चले न चलाई निज बले. So that is the dharma that one perform kriya. Kriya means the actions free from material intentions. Unnati. Then such person should be progressing in spiritual life. Buddhi, intelligence, medha, wisdom, titiksha, tolerance, modesty. Hiri means modesty. And such a person become the embodiment of all virtues. Such example is Dharmaraj. Yudhishthira, Lord Ramachandra, and all the great devotees were embodiment of this dharma. Those who have possessed this dharma, they get shubha, all auspiciousness. They get the grace of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prasadi Sarva Dukkhanam. They maintain a life of fearlessness, happiness, joys, prosperity, and cultivate the linking process with Supreme Personality of Godhead called yoga. So yoga or yoga coming from kriya, when the actions are performed without the intentions. And such a person get the confidence in Krishna consciousness if he is cultivated to Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, dharma can give pride as well, darpa. So darpa can be confidence or pride. Artha, the purpose, meaning and purpose one can get by his transcendental intelligence of cultivating the religious principles. And he gets the wisdom, transcendental divine wisdom of the divine principles as exhibited by Lord Ṛṣabhadeva here is called Medha, the wisdom, how to counter the effect of adharma. The effect of adharma, especially in the age of Kali, is highest. So countering them, you need smruti, the memory. Because we have the vismruti, forgetfulness of our own original identity. That we are part and parcel of Lord, we are servant of Lord. That we do forget. Means the knowledge is not coming at the actions. We forget that. Smruti is essential. So we can develop smruti through the religious wisdoms. Titiksha, then tolerance is essential. So without tolerance, we cannot proceed in getting the Kshama. Kshama means the welfare and security in progressing the spiritual life. So our spiritual life will be insecure if we will become intolerant. And this sloka specific to this tolerance. Lord Ṛṣabhadeva is the embodiment to exhibit tolerance at to the highest level. There cannot be anyone ever tolerant than Lord Ṛṣabhadeva. Similar examples were Bharata, Jada Bharata. He was also tolerant. He exhibited the qualities of Avadhūta. Similarly, other dharmas like Hiri, modesty, which give humility, the most essential characters. So these 12 characters of dharma give rise to these 12 principles of maintaining a life of spiritual values, where a person can maintain himself into dharma and become the embodiment of the dharma, then he can be called as the embodiment of dharma, where the Lord Narayana and Nara present. Like for Yudhishthira, Dharma was personally present, Krishna as Narayana, and Arjuna as the first class Nara, who is abide by the religious principles. It is essential that our life is completely surrendered to Narayana, and we completely renunciate from the so-called material happiness and distresses. By the process of tolerating this mundane sense objects enjoyments, guna gunasu vartante iti mattva nasajjate is the divine principles which is fully exhibited by a Avadhūta who is freed from the attachments of varna and asramas. Such a person can act as if a blind, deaf, dumb, or insane person do not show any reactions to these affairs or the problems that thrown by the society. So the society and the people in the society can create lots of mockery, insult, yet such a great person who is above all such affinity can completely remain silent and detached from all that subjects that counter to him. Because he is renounced from all worldly attachments and social norms, he is beyond the false ego, he is beyond the duality of happiness and distresses. And his body is not a material body, is not affected by guna. Guna means three modes of matter nature. Sattva, Raja, and Tama are the three modes. Who you say as the most civilized persons, gentlemen, they can appear to be in the modes of goodness. But a devotee who is in the class of Avadhūta, fully renounced from all worldly attachments and social norms, he is beyond Sattva Guna itself. So till Sattva Guna, a devotee exhibit the first class gentleman behavior. But a person who is beyond Sattva Guna, in Suddha Sattva, may not behave the way the Suddha Sattva Guni behaves. Like you may see Saucha, cleanliness, well dressed, and all these like Brahminical principles, you may not see because it's beyond these modes, it's not attached to all of these moods at all. He's beyond this mood. So anything happen, whether suffering or enjoyment, he remain unaffected, just like a lotus leaf remaining in water, but water cannot touch. Just like a cow, here the example of elephant also given. The stools and the urines, wherever the cow passes the stools and the urines there, he sleeps on those stools and urines. But the smells of the bodies of the cows are transcendentals, divine. You will not get bad odor from that. Similarly, Lord Ṛṣabhadeva's behavior was like cow or elephant. The stools and urines were passed just like with ignorance. It touches or smearing the body, but it gives the transcendental fragrance which reaches hundreds of miles. The fragrance was so divine. All these are coming from the transcendental body of Lord Ṛṣabhadeva, and nothing is material. So anything is spiritual remain unaffected by the touch of materiality, just like the lotus leaf within the water remain untouched from the water. Similarly, all these three modes of matter, nature and its actions, whether happiness or distress, whether praise or criticism or mockery or insult, whatever thrown by the society to Lord Ṛṣabhadeva was never touched him. So transcending this Varna and Ashrama Dharma is the process of freeing oneself from the illusion or the Maya. So that is the first class spiritual life, completely independent from the guna. Guna gunesh vartante iti matva na sajjate. The property of the guna is that when one is in these three modes of material nature, jehi sansparsaja, bhoga dukkha jone evate, adi antavanta, adyantavanta kaunte, naute suramate buddha. A transcendental intelligent person who is having medha or the wisdom knows this, and this wisdom give him Krishna Smriti. So Smriti is the child of the wife of Dharma named as Medha. Intelligence and Medha both are wife of Dharma. So transcendental divine intelligence to act in Krishna consciousness, and the Krishna Smriti comes from that. When one cultivate this with the transcendental divine intelligence, he ignores the acceptance of the pleasures and sufferings by the weapon of titiksha or the tolerance, which is very difficult. We cannot even tolerate little bit from our brothers, from our spiritual associates, mentors. Even if we cannot tolerate others' glory in front of us. Suppose two God brothers are sitting and spiritual master is glorifying the other God brothers. The fellow God brothers is intolerable to that. Why these all are happening? Why we are not able to tolerate? Because we are not adhering to the principles of Dharma. So Kali, who is a Dharma's most powerful weapon in this age, become or capture us. So we become the Chela of Kali, Kali Chela. Even though appearing to take up holy name, chanting the rounds, and behaving like a person who is in religious principles. But are we? If we don't have this quality of tolerance, then Kali has the power to make us his Chela. Chela means Even though we accept spiritual master, but we follow Kali. So we become Kali Rachela. Gorovind has explains this very nicely. So this Kali has the opportunity to trap these people who are mostly affected by the pseudo religiosity, Kaitava Dharma. Means they are more interested in showing their greatness and showing that they are religious. I am a devotee of 30 year, 50 year, 20 year, 10 year, or whatsoever. And chanting and see this Kali can trick a lot such people. Those simply show. If some devotee comes and says Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, showcase. Exhibitions of all such external behavior to appear like a dharmi is the trap of Kali and make bidharmi. Kali always looks some adharma in a person to enter. Nala Maharaj was the great followers of the dharma, but once he missed sandhya. He did sandhya, but he didn't properly clean himself. Like he just washed the hand and entered to do puja. A Saucha has a vidhi. At least your legs up to the waist must be cleansed with water. Then all the dwaras means the gates, like mouth is dwara, nostrils is dwara, ears are dwara. They're the gates. Navels is dwara. So similarly, the lower portions are the dwaras. All the dwaras, even the arm pits, like hair pits. So that also sweats. So water comes from that. That is also dwara. So they must be cleansed before entering to do puja in altar in front of the deity. That is the principles. So that adharma performed and Kali got the chance to enter. So it is our karma sometimes gives a scope to Kali to enter, and once Kali enter, then it make us do any kind of offenses. So to free ourselves from such problems, we must avoid by the religious niyama. Niyama, the principles our spiritual master give us must be followed. Dambha, krodha, mithya, hinsa, the enviousness, all these are effects of Maya, and especially Kali, when enters, it gives you fear. Durukti. Durukti means calumny. Falsely criticizing or falsely accusing others. And that is the greatest danger for a devotee. Satam Ninda. When a devotee takes this dangerous, or when a devotee accepts such a dangerous character to give false accusations to others, and that too because he's a devotee, is interacting with other devotees, and if he give false accusations to other devotee, that is the last trap of Kali. From there, a person is completely bewildered and fully fall down from the path of devotional service. But he may still continue appearing to be a devotee, can be practicing and showing that chanting, this and that, doing all these things. But when he is in the state of durukti, calumny means false accusing others, in the trap of enviousness, then he is gone. He is no more a devotee. So in this age of Kali, separate demons are not required. Wherever Kali enters, he can make that person to a demon. To remove Kali from us, we need the practice of bhakti. And bhakti, when matures, gives us jnana and vairagya. Especially those who are attending Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam's power is to develop jnana and vairagya. So Parikshita Maharaj, like Narada Muni saw that after hearing Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, jnana and vairagya nourished. So only jnana and vairagya can be nourished by hearing the narrations of the Lord. And Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is that. So this is the process. Otherwise, Naraka, Jatana, Vayanaka, Mrityu, all are waiting. All the inauspiciousness captures when Kali enters with this calumny. So they are the two wives, Alakshmi, misfortune, and calumny, Durukti. To counter all these, it is essential that we avoid ourselves by the religious principles. Be tolerant. When we are intolerant, then we blaspheme others. When we say something bad about others, means we had some expectations in ourselves which are not met. We desire something, this should happen this way. I have given my time, money, energy, but see, this person has done this way. So that means in return of your time, energy, and money, that what you're supposed to give to Lord Krishna, you are expecting something in return. That not from Krishna, but from ordinary person. How this can happen? So most peoples are affected by the Kali, so they will not fulfill your expectations. So then the counter is there, and you will again fall in the trap of the truth first, initially, that yes, this happened, it's really happened, I'm telling the truth. This person is causing so adharmas or bad things to me, and gradually that will trap you through the Kali, that even you may fall in the trap of enviousness and calumny. Then you may try to give false accusation to me, then you are gone. Why all such happens? Because you kept expectations. Kriya, that was the process of dharma. But now, even after taking the Krishna consciousness movement, you are not avoiding yourself to into Kriya, means you are doing intention based work. Whatever your intention, that I am doing this, I must get in return of this, is this and that. Lava, puja, pratishtha, or whatever else. All these expectations are there. So these expectations must be nullified by the great devotees to counter all such enviousness and for the trap of Kali. So it is essential that one must counter the Kali by piteously praying for the shelter of holy name. There is no one who can counter Kali other than the holy name. Even the great saintly person Nala Maharaj could not counter Kali. By a simple mistake, Kali entered. So similarly, even Parikshita Maharaj could not counter with gold crown, Kali could enter. So Vaishnava principles advise that one must very carefully adhere to the principles of the four regulations: no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxications, even no cheating. No cheating. So gold, wealth, all this become, they become vulnerable to cheating gradually when one is attached to gold wealth. So gold is the another place where deceitfully Kali took from Parikshit and deceived Parikshit himself. So that's how at least these five principles you must follow to stop Kali. But when you have the power of holy name, and you must following these principles of five principles, you are strictly obeying, then Kali cannot enter. Kali has no power to counter Krishna. If Krishna is there, Krishna Smruti, Jara, Sansara Kupo, Kahatara. This is what explained here by Nartam Das Thakur. This is the song of the Gopi. ताते ध्यान शिखा कराए लोको हसाई हमारा स्थाना स्थाना नाकर विचार. Gopis are explaining this, that whom you are teaching to meditate, they are answering to Uddhava. You are not knowing whom to tell the principles of meditations. Sthana sthana nakara vichar. The gopis are the most advanced. They don't know how to stop meditations of Krishna. ताते धाना शिक्षा कराओ लोको हसाई हमारा. You want to teach those gopis meditations? Krishna, sansara, when they want to do sansara, like follow their husbands, their superiors, when they want to stop the thinking or chanting of name of Krishna, they are not able to do. Because if the name of Krishna is hurt to their husband or their mother-in-law or father-in-law, or if they, while doing their home affair, somehow meditate on Krishna, they do mistakes in that. So husband and superiors, they chastise. That's why gopis wanted to forget Krishna, but it was not possible. Impossible for gopis to forget Krishna. When the love for Krishna is prevalent, then there is no chance of meditating on any other subjects. So that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to teach Vipralamba, the topmost path of love is that to feel separations of Krishna and always get Krishna's smruti. Advanced transcendental realized persons can able to remember Krishna in anything and everything. And when there can be any sansara in front of him, when a person is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And how to enter to this Gopi Bhava? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself exhibited and taught. And he transformed many such people into that. Simply the process is chanting of the holy name with Shraddha, with faith. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is the most sublime process when one take very seriously Krishna consciousness and stop all the possibility of gross adharmas where Kali can enter, then his progress will be swift. Otherwise, one may chant thousands of the years, still his progress will be slow. So thousands of years of chanting may not make yourself able to get this. But when you are able to surrender yourself with divine faith and tolerate the urges, obeys the principles of the dharma, then you will be take off the sara. Sara means the essence. Lord Gauranga explained that sara also. One must be very careful. I think we have reached the time, but I will give this essence, what you must remember while taking up the holy name. Chaitanya Adi 8.16 says, Bahu janma kare jadi Shravana kirtana tabu na paya Krishna pade prema dhana. So those who are thinking that I am 30 or 50 or 100 years of a devotee, remind this. This is the sloka. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bahu janma kare jadi Shravana kirtana. Not this life, many, many life if you are doing this chanting and hearing, but there is no guarantee that you will get Krishna Pade Premadhana. There is no guarantee. Krishna Nama Kare Aparadhera Bichara Krishna Valile Aparadhira Na Hoy Abhikar. Krishna Nama Kare Aparadhara Bichar. Don't be careless. Krishna Nama, always consider aparadha. You must be freed from the aparadha. All the glories are there, at least for Nama Bhasa, not for Nama Aparadhi. Nama Aparadhi rather will be punished. Because you are taking Nama, so gradually Nama give a chance, so that Nama want with repeated chanting, you get freed from aparadha. But Nama Aparadha is not pleasing to Krishna. Only thing Krishna consider here is that you have taken up the process. That's why even though you are doing aparadha, when you continuously chant and become gradually careful with the association of devotee, and gradually you realize your mistakes and repent for that, and again ask forgiveness from where you committed offense with simple heart, then gradually you can come to Navavasa. So as long as you are in Nama Aparadha state, don't consider yourself as a devotee. You are not a devotee. Krishna Nama kare aparadhera vichara. Krishna valile aparadhira nahoya vikara. That's why no transformations can happen. Aparadha nahi sada lao Krishna nama etavali prabhu aila sarvabhauma sthana bhajanera madhya shrestha navavidha bhakti Krishna prema Krishna dite dhare mahasakti tara madhye sarva shrestha nama sankirtana niraparadhe nama lale paya prema dhana. So among all these divine principles, this 9 process of devotional service are the highest. And among the topmost is the Nama Sankirtana. But if you take the holy name without offense, Niraparadhe Nama Laile Paya Premadhana, you will get the love of Godhead. Romancha Kompashru Taranga Bhajo. Roma means the happiness, the shivering of the body, Ashru, the tears from your eyes, if they are not flowing, that means you are not progressing. You must exhibit that also from the beginning. It is not that after 30 years you will get tears. From the beginning of the chanting, you should get romancha kampasru taranga vajo. If you are chanting without offenses, niraparadha, namalaile. But if you are chanting with offense, then these things will not be seen. And all the devotees who are chanting, see whether Sweda Kampas was appearing in you or not. If not, then immediately approach your spiritual master, ask for rectifications, go approach every devotee whom you committed offenses and stop all other offenses, and again get back to this Niraparadha Nama. Then gradually you will get Premadhana. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? That give you the faith, the enthusiasm in chanting holy name. Services support in chanting. Seva unmukho hi jivado surati adya. Atha Sri Krishna namadi na bhavet grahyam indriyam. The holy name is not getting tested by a devotee initially. So for that reason, when one cultivate this culture of spiritual values through seva, so all that you do, like at least seva unmukho hi jihadu, by taking Krishna prasad. So the most important that fundamental principle, see, if you stop eating outside foods, only eat offered food to Lord, and then you taste Krishna prasad, that you do seva, seva through tongue, seva through this body, that give enthusiasm in chanting holy name. Then you develop taste in chanting holy name. Otherwise, chanting of holy name at this state of like jaundice, right? So all these sweet things are detested to be bitter when one is affected by jaundice. So this material desire, where all these adharmas exist, this um, like they give a detest from chanting of the holy name. So one should develop taste for the holy name by the process of taking Mahaprasad and serving with this body and following the regulative niyamas as provided by our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya and proposed by Sri Guru. Then you will be able to develop taste. Any other questions? No other questions?